Assalamu alaikum dear students, how are you all? I hope you are all fine by the grace of Almighty Allah in this pandemic situation. So this is Toyab Hossain, your English teacher, and I am welcoming all of you to the new video class. Our today's topic is voice tense, and in this video we will learn how to convert an active sentence into passive sentence. So before starting the main portion of the class, I would like to tell you about the learning objective of today's class. So by the end of the video, we will be able to define what voices of verbs are, to differentiate active voice from passive voice, and we will also be able to convert an active voice sentence to passive voice sentence. So what are voices of verbs? The voice of verbs are defined as the quality of verbs that indicates whether its subject acts or is acted upon. It has two types, active voice and passive voice. So first, we will know about active voice. So active voice indicates that the subject of the verb is acting. As the subject does or acts upon, in such sentences, the sentences are said to be in the active voice. For example, the dog jumped upon the boy. We are playing football in the field and he is writing a letter. If we look, we'll see in all the three sentences, the subject is actually doing the task of the verb. So let's know something about passive voice. In passive voice sentence, the subject and object flip-flop. The subject becomes the passive recipient of the action. As the subject are being acted upon in such sentences, the sentences are said to be in the passive voice. For example, the boy was jumped upon by the dog. Football is being played by us in the field. A letter is being written by him. If you see, here all the subjects of the three sentences are not doing the task of the verb. So now we will start our main portion of the video, that is how to convert an active sentence into passive sentence. So there are 7 rules in total for assertive sentence, and the first one is the object in the active sentence will be used as the subject in the passive sentence. To be verb should be used according to the tense of the sentence. The main or finite verb of the active sentence should be turned into past participle form in the passive sentence. Preposition by should come after verb, and the subject in the active sentence will be used as the object in the passive sentence. So now we'll see 2 examples on the basis of this rule. So here is the first example. We are playing football. Here we have a subject, that is we have an auxiliary verb, that is are, we have a main verb, that is play in its ing form, and we have an object. The answer will be football is being played by us. We can divide this answer into 5 parts, like football is being played by us. If you see, these 5 points are actually following rule number 1. Similarly, she wrote a letter. The answer will be a letter was written by her. So it also can be divided into 5 parts, and those are a letter was written by her. So now come to rule number 2, and it's about prepositional phrase. So if there is any prepositional phrase in the active sentence, that phrase should be kept unchanged in the passive sentence. For example, he is playing football in the field. The answer will be football is being played by him in the field. So you can see we are not changing the prepositional phrase here. So here is an exception. He broke one leg of the chair. So here we can't write one leg was broken by him of the chair. Rather we should write one leg of the chair was broken by him. So you have to remember, for the preposition of, we can keep it unchanged. Rather it should be brought with the subject or the object of the sentence. Now rule number 3, it's about two objects. If there are two objects in the active sentence, it is better to use the first one as the subject in the passive sentence. In this case, the second object should be put just after the verb in the passive sentence. For example, he gave me a book. The answer will be, I was given a book by him. So in the active sentence, there are two objects actually. The first one is me and the second one is a book. So here I am taking the first one as the subject of the passive sentence. I can also write in this way that a book was given to me by him. Rule number 4, reflexive objects. If the object in the active sentence is a reflexive pronoun, the subject and object in the active sentence should not flip-flop in the passive sentence. The man killed himself. Here the answer will be, the man was killed by himself. Here you can see that I haven't changed the subject and object. Rule number 5, subject plus verb plus object plus verb. So if you have a verb after the object in your sentence, then you have to follow this rule. So if there is a verb after the object in the active sentence, we can either use it as infinitive or gerund. So here is an example for you. I saw him go. So you can see that after the object him, you have another verb here, which is go. So you can make it in two ways. That is, he was seen by me to go. We are making the go infinitive here, and he was seen going by me. We are making the go gerund here. So remember, if you make it infinitive, you should put it at the end of the sentence. But if you make it gerund, you should put it after the verb. Rule number 6, noun clause as objects. If the object in the active sentence is a noun clause, we have to use the whole clause as the subject in the passive sentence. Like, I know that he is honest. Here, that he is honest is a noun clause acting as the object in the sentence. So the answer here will be, that he is honest is known to me. You can also write in this way, it is known to me that he is honest. Rule number 7, going to phrase. If there is going to phrase in the active sentence, we should make it passive in the following way. Subject plus auxiliary verb plus going to plus be plus verb 3 plus by plus object. Let's take an example. I am going to open a bank account. The answer will be, a bank account is going to be opened by me. Here we are following the rules like subject, a bank account, auxiliary is, going to phrase, be, verb 3 that is opened, by, an object that is me. So you should also keep in mind that sometimes by is not used in passive sentence, like known to, annoyed with, annoyed at, pleased with, pleased at, vexed with, vexed at. So that's all Thank you very much for joining the class. I hope you have all understand the points. So you are already given some homework in the school website. Please download them and solve them yourself, and please send me